Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Jersey Boys podcast experience. I am Cody Powers.
Matt Thunder.
Tyler Adams.
Jack Celta. Delta.
Melta, Belta.
Kralta.
Kralta.
New one.
We rarely get new ones. Smelta. I like Smelta.
Oh, man, I don't enjoy that. We're going to start with a bonus here because I did see a comment from one of the videos that we should finally explain what Jack Celta actually is.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Before we do that,
Get straight
let's tell all our viewers right now that we are all live together.
Oh, yeah.
For the first time.
It's been a while.
We're breaking social distancing rules, so please don't come for us, Trump or...
No, Trump doesn't care. It's fucking
come for me, I'll stab you, so...
Yeah, he'll stab you. So we're live together, and yeah, it's pretty fucking dope. It's been so long.
So the Celta story.
The Celta story. It's very, very simple.
It's so simple.
It's so simple that I just don't... James Fury one day just accidentally mispronounced my name.
Yep.
Wasn't it on Snapchat?
Oh,
He typed it in wrong?
Yeah.
Yep.
He typed it in the group chat wrong.
Yep. Ever since then, everybody just takes their turn at Delta.
So yeah, with the D being near the S on the keyboard, he accidentally hits an S, and that's the beginning of Jack Celta, which...
Yeah, you've probably heard it ribbed on commentary a couple times.
Oh, so many times.
So many fucking times.
So many people have said Celta, either intentionally or unintentionally.
Please comment Jack Celta under this video.
No, please don't actually do that, because that'll actually be the first time someone said it.
It's okay, we can just cover it with Owen O'Rat.
Or Xavier King.
Xavier King.
Oh my god.
Oh god, that's something. That led to like everyone else having a bastardized name too.
Oh, yeah, like Cody Powers.
Cody Powers.
Tyler Badams.
Yeah, we got Badams. Matt Dunderhead.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending stream of fucking idiocy.
Love it.
It's great. It's wonderful.
Everybody has a different name.
Oh yeah.
Joe Erebus's name is Chad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, please comment Chad.
Yeah, say fuck you, Chad.
Also, I got a receipt coming for him soon. I'm going to tell you guys about that after the episode.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh no.
I told Matt Thunder about it last night.
Yeah, I know what it is.
I felt like calling up a rival and just, talking shit for a little bit, but then I just told him about that, and it just,
So you should probably run Doomslayer. Demon.
Yeah, Joe Erebus, you're about to get your ass kicked.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Neck chop city boy.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of doing neck chops to him, but now...
Hey man, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to just bounce shit off and do some good shit.
You guys want to see some neck chops again? I'll be back.
Oh,
just
as long as it's not
don't
me.
do it right now.
Just for a
Oh, fuck! You asshole! Dude, what
Damn.
the fuck?
Yeah.
At least do it to fucking Jack Celta.
Oh, god damn it!
Damn,
Why would you do
I wasn't
that?
being serious.
Oh god, I'm so glad I'm across from the table.
We're not doing these live anymore.
I don't know.
Fuck this shit. I'm out.
We should do a live one after Mania.
Oh no, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
If we're not dead.
Yeah. I would say right after the show, just rest up for an hour, then do a podcast. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we can do a post-Mania breakdown.
Yeah.
We're just announcing it on the air right now, casually, that we're going to do it. So I
guess
you
we're
better
doing it.
Put some advertising in there, editor.
Oh yeah, if the world doesn't explode from angry hornets and coronavirus by fucking whenever Mania is supposed to be out, then yeah.
Fuck the beast.
Murder hornets.
I'll be hanging out
Murder
with
hornets, aliens, volcanoes,
see,
asteroids,
exactly,
everything.
Exactly.
Like-
And you see, I'll probably be hanging out with the aliens.
Oh, I'm hanging out with the aliens.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm hanging out with an alien.
Yeah, you gotta hang out with the aliens. Because, like, if you don't hang out with a group of Ayla Mouse, then what are you doing in life? Yeah, bro, I love Ayla Mouse.
Where are they going to land?
Okay, so we have since this is an audio-only podcast, we have a big globe, for some reason, in the MEBW gorilla position.
Oh, I landed on this continent over here. It's called CMW.
CMW? What is that?
It's the one with the kangaroos.
Oh, the rats! Oh, if I ever go to Australia, I'm fucking eating a kangaroo. I heard they're like rats over there.
What the fuck?
No, there's like a billion of them.
Coronavirus.
No. They're edible. People
are
have been
they?
eating them all the time. Yeah, it's not fucking
did not know
bats.
Yeah, they're edible. They're made of food.
Yeah, let's not eat another animal that's gonna make the world explode for like a year. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or however.
That goes to all
I'm just
humanity.
saying, the world was fine before people started drinking those fucking seltzer beers.
Yes, yes. Those are nasty, by the way. I've had a, what is the one called?
White
White
Claw?
Claw? Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, I hate sparkling shit.
But I hate beer, too. So, like, I'm a liquor guy, so I don't really, I don't like beer at all. So, the fact that they made it taste like beer didn't really
Yeah.
interest me, so.
I just hate sparkling water. With a
Sparkling
passion.
water I don't like. Sparkling anything I really don't like.
I need
if I'm
to.
honest.
My parents buy sparkling water all the time, and they're like, "Oh, try it. It's good. This new brand." And I'm like, "Fuck off."
Yeah.
One time, I had a sparkling water. I've never experienced this in my fucking life. I open it. I had it sitting out on my counter for like an hour or so because I'm just gaming or whatever. I take a sip. It was apple flavored. It went from tasting like a normal apple to tasting like an apple that you leave out for an hour. I'm like, how the fuck did you do that in a drink? Like, what is this? How? What kind of sorcery? God. Fucking freaks with their seltzer water.
Yeah. So.
Fuck seltzer.
So you heard it here first. The coronavirus is really all because of people who drink White Claws. So thank you. It really is, though, because if you think about it, like, okay, that's at least why it's here in America. And I'm going to explain why. All the people who drink seltzer stuff are usually in college, right? And when coronavirus started, who was on the beaches in Florida doing social distancing where they crowded the beach together? College kids.
Oh, shit.
So,
This is fucking unwinding.
in theory, you guys are right about that seltzer is what kind of, at least amplified the coronavirus. And maybe not started it, but...
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Seltzer fucking bullshit is what started the coronavirus, and you should stop buying White Claw just because of that.
What's that?
Welcome back to the Jersey Boys podcast.
Yep, back round two.
We're doing ad reads for Crystal Pepsi today.
Are we actually?
No.
No.
Damn.
We have an ad read from Tommy Gunn at some point, but
Oh, you have one already?
no, I wish I did.
Okay,
Well,
I'm
we'll
gonna
edit
text
one
him.
in by the time.
I'm
Or
texting
we'll just make one up, or we'll text him.
He's gonna
that's
text
actually a good idea. We are the impractical jokers.
We talked about this on a previous episode, didn't we?
While we're doing some texting, I have a question for each of you.
Ooh, is this where the rough questions are coming in that you were talking about before the episode, or what?
It's
Please
gonna be
don't-
an interesting one.
Please don't describe them as rough, but yes.
I mean, rough
Okay.
questions. Come on, Delta.
What is each of your most controversial wrestling opinion?
Controversial wrestling opinion?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to sit on that so somebody else, if you got one,
yeah.
spit it out, or don't spit it out. Give me some time, because
Ooh. I got one, but
I think I know mine. The screw job.
what's your opinion on the screw job?
I think it was shoot.
You think it was shoot?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, so let's sidetrack to the screw job then, because we haven't really talked about that, and I feel like that's a good thing for us all to talk
Yeah.
about, because we haven't. And for the first live episode, that's perfect. So,
Yeah, might as well.
I've had different opinions. Like, I've had different people sway me into thinking it was a work, and then different people sway me into thinking it was a shoot. And that's like, when I say people, I mean actual wrestlers who were around that time, and they have videos on YouTube of them getting interviewed about this, and some of them say it's a work, some of them say it's a shoot, and you don't know what to believe. And I don't think Vince has ever made a public comment since the one video that he did where he said Brett screwed Brett, which was shoot. But is
And
it
that
work
one
shoot or
shitty
shoot
WrestleMania
shoot?
match.
I think that's the best, like, riding the line between a worked shoot and a shoot shoot, because it was a shoot shoot, but he worked it into the program too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's what I think.
Scott Hall, I was listening to him talk about it, and he had a really good point as to why he thinks it's a work.
I understand it, but I happen to sometimes lean more towards a shoot. Only because of the spitting on him in the face and then beating his ass like that. I mean, yes, that sounds like something Vince would book, but the way that it was described of happening, if it was a shoot fight, he was actually punching him, and it was just worked in there. If it was worked, like if it was worked, then he was actually beating the fuck out of him. And he said, and I wouldn't be surprised because Vince is known to do this. He said, just go out there and beat my ass, because I don't know if you guys remember, and I remember it clearly because this is my first WWE event I ever went to in 2009. I went to the 2009 Royal Rumble. Jeff Hardy versus Edge. The song that I think's good for a pay-per-view and you guys think sucks, which is Let It Rock.
That's dated.
And Orton winning the Rumble. So the whole storyline going up to that was Orton had kicked Vince in the head on TV put him out of
I remember that.
Out of commission for a while and everything like that. And they were saying, is he going to get fired from WWE tomorrow on Raw? Well, not if he wins the Royal Rumble. Now he can sue you for everything you own. So all that, if you go back to that original punt kick to Vince McMahon's head, Vince told Randy to go out there and actually kick him hard in the head, like he's trying to punch him.
Fury and Cody Powers.
Yeah, so James Fury, me and James Fury, okay.
But he agreed. He said, if you concuss me, oh well.
Yeah,
go out there and kick me hard in the fucking head. That is crazy. When he's still old when he's doing that. I mean, he's older now. But and then in 2014 or 15, he's taking F5s from Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and then fucking a couple years
crazy.
later, he bladed before coming out for a segment with Owens and fucking got headbutted by Owens.
Yeah.
Remember when
Owens
AJ punched him right in the face?
AJ punching him in the face. I remember when Matt Thunder sent that to me, and I watched that, and I was like, oh my god. He told AJ to actually hit him. And AJ cocked back and punched him in the face. Like, that's insane.
I do want to say before the conversation strays too far, I know it was a shoot, but I think it's more fun to think of it as a work.
Yeah.
Because there's always conspiracy theories that, like, oh, these WWE guys left and they got creative control. They went over to WCW. They're there to ruin the company. Like, that's fun to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I like thinking about both. I like thinking about both sides because, like, I think the most fun thing about the screw job is not that anyone has an answer, but all the different answers you can hear.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of answers.
That's my favorite thing, because I love hearing different opinions on it, and I think hearing different opinions and then forming your own opinions on it is like more interesting than finding out what it actually was. I think if you find out what it is, it takes away from what it's always been, and it's a wonder. It's always been a wonder. If you spoil what it was, then you kind of fucking ruin it. And I think that's why nobody's ever like come out and like actually said, I have evidence that it was one way or another, because it's more fun to let you believe what you believe.
Yeah.
And that sells in its own way. So, and that sells for the WWE Network. I want to go back and watch the Montreal Screwjob. Why do you want to go back and watch it? Because it's that controversial of whether it was real or not.
Yeah.
That's a selling point.
You know what I mean? That the controversy is always like the same 5 or 6 people.
Yep.
That's why it's always fun.
I like what Scott Hall said about it was he said, in no way does Vince let you mimic WCW on his TV. And I'm like, that'd be, I don't know. Like, that doesn't make sense, but like, I don't know. It's such a weird.
But weird. Maybe that's on purpose. Vince thinks like that.
Yeah, Vince is like, he's hated, but he's smart, he definitely is smart.
He's smart, but he's out of touch with what people enjoy outside of WWE.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. And I think that kind of narrows down his mind of how storylines are going to go. So you get repeated washed up stuff because there's no new content, because he doesn't go out there looking for what people are doing now. He says, I'm going to do it my way. And you got to respect that in a way. But at the same time, that's why people get mad at Vince for being out of touch. So
they mentioned AEW. Sami Zayn did.
Oh yeah. He said you could even ask me about AEW. Apparently Vince was pissed and Sammy didn't care, and that's what I love about AEW. If I love anything about AEW, like the most, more than MJF,
the t-shirts.
Because I love MJF. I love MJF. No, it's not the t-shirts. Good meme.
They do have nice t-shirts.
But no, my favorite thing is it's helped people in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sami Zayn going out and saying that, he normally, if there was no AEW, they could have said, you're going to go back to making $30 now, or maybe you'll pop up in New Japan if you go all the way to Japan. But now that you've got AEW, and AEW can pay the same contracts that WWE can, you can have the creative freedom that you want, and what are you going to do? Fire me? Cool, I'll go over to AEW, make the same or more, and get better creative control. So, your ball. And that's where Vince has to sit there and deal with it. And that's kind of what I like about AEW, because even though Vince might book it like his way, the wrestlers now can put a twist on it, and if they go out there and do it live, you can't stop them.
Yeah, I guess I really like AEW because it's an alternative to WWE, and it's other places where the boys can go. I just wish it didn't have such like a cloud of marky stink around the fan base. It's just the fan base gets really bad, and it's really unfortunate.
I wish the fan base was bigger, and I wish they stayed as strong as they always were. Because like from when they started on TV, and even a little bit before that, all the way until about Full Gear and whatever, they were going pretty strong during those months, but they kind of trailed off in a way, and it's like,
yeah,
I hate it because there is talented people who deserve to be seen. Like I said, MJF, he deserves to be the main star of that place. I mean, look how he worked, or to be putting over the main star, because look how he works, look how he, does his gimmick. Like that's just him, and that's, I don't know. I wish that could get showcased better, but it's like it hasn't popped into its mainstream yet, and I hope it does. But I hope it gets better before it does.
Yeah, it's gonna need some like washing out,
fine tuning and stuff like that. But I do like Brody Lee being there though.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any of it. I haven't seen any of it yet, except for like some videos on Twitter, because I really haven't had time to catch up with any wrestling. But no, I mean, like, I like the idea of him running the Dark Order, because otherwise you were gonna have to release those guys. I mean,
the Dark Order is ass. Like,
so speaking on that, like, I'll admit the Dark Order is horrible. Like, I've never been like, I'm not gonna commend one company if it's doing something wrong. I'm gonna be honest about it, even if I like one more than the other. And that's where it's like, the Dark Order, if you can't throw a punch, how the hell did you make it to AEW?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so Brody Lee coming in and coaching them and being the veteran that he is going to help them become better wrestlers, better workers, better talents, and better characters. And it will push them forward. So, sidetracking off that, back to your original question. Your original question was, what is our most controversial wrestling opinion? So we got into the screw job. We got into AEW.
Well, I do have one that sprung up from those talks that I came up. That's a hot take. Kenny Omega would be doing so much better in WWE than he is doing in AEW if he would have went to WWE.
Yeah.
He would have got the AJ Styles treatment, and he wouldn't be, like, tag champ.
And imagine a match like him versus AJ or him versus Balor. Do you know how much mainstream Kenny would be getting now?
Oh yeah,
he didn't need this company, but I do respect what he's doing in AEW, and I like his stuff with Moxley a lot. Like that was cool. But I don't know. He's playing a character that's not like his Japan one, so he's not pushing himself as a main eventer. You know what I mean? Like, he's not getting himself over to that extent. Like, there are other people on the roster. Jungle Boy is more over right now than Kenny Omega.
Yeah, and that's like,
I think Kenny will turn heel, not
I hope so.
Hangman. I think Kenny will turn.
Are they still tag champs right now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And they keep having that thing, and they're teasing Hangman turning heel, but they might pull a swerve, and that's a good point, Thunder.
Yeah,
like,
I think they will.
They might
honestly,
they might pull a swerve and have Kenny turn heel, and I would love that because Kenny plays such a good heel. And I think that would just that refresh. When you're talking about refreshing the program, you're right in a way that like if somebody turns heel, just that simple thing could click with somebody, and it makes people want to come back and watch. So something like that, I hope comes full circle for them because they are working hard at this. So, but anyway, controversial. Does anyone else think of one in that time or no?
I can't think of any.
I don't know. I got so focused on the Kenny one, I forgot my
Okay,
other
so
one.
this isn't my most controversial, but I guess while we're bouncing it off our heads and trying to find it, one controversial opinion I do have, which I feel like is becoming less controversial. Okay, so can we agree right now that in mainstream professional wrestling, MJF is the best heel, right? There's not a better heel than... Now, don't say the other name that you're thinking of if you're thinking of another name. Because my controversial wrestling opinion is... Not that MJF is the first best, because I do think he's the best heel right now. But I think the second best is Baron Corbin.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of Baron. I was thinking of Brock.
And I have a thing. Heel. I didn't like Baron Corbin for a while. I thought his other gimmick that he played before this one, like Constable, and then the one before that, it didn't click with me. And then it's like you have two cool moves. You have the... End of Days and the Deep Six, right?
Yeah, those are both very cool moves.
Very cool moves. And I'm like, but you're wasting it on a guy who's playing a shitty gimmick and he's not even, like, getting it over or anything. And I hated it. And then he played this gimmick that he's playing now, the King Corbin, and I fucking loved it. And I'm like...
Yeah, it is pretty good.
I like King Corbin, honestly. Baron Corbin's always been one of those guys where I'm just kind of like, I don't really... Yeah, I don't mind him. And I was thinking Brock Lesnar, honestly.
No, I think Brock. Okay,
Brock is like legit heel.
Can we get on the subject of Brock for a second? Because I have a thing to say about Brock.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So with Brock, I feel like the best Brock Lesnar you can always have in the WWE is the one that's not involved with the world title.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is people hate when he's world champion because he's barely on TV. You can't have the world title on TV. You can't have anyone have a rivalry with him except for the 1 week that Paul Heyman brings him out. And that just gets old to people when there's no title on that brand. And you're like, I hate this. But when he's wrestling people like The Undertaker, who are not holding a title, or he's wrestling big money matches like John Cena or whatever, you like those and you tune into those more because he's coming back for a reason. He's not just coming back, I'm hunting the title again, taking it away from you for 6 months. No, he's out there and he's saying at the next pay-per-view, I'm going to fuck you up. But first of all, I'm gonna fuck you up on Raw here. Then Heyman's gonna say some shit, and then we're gonna get to the pay-per-view, and I'm gonna slam you on steel steps like he did to John Cena when he first came back in 2012. That is the best Brock Lesnar that you can have, because that Brock Lesnar, I don't care if he just does 100 suplexes and an F5, I'll buy that. But I'm not gonna buy him being champion because the prestige of the title is gone if you don't even have to show up to your job every day. Like you're telling me that the world champion doesn't have to show up to his job and you have to pay him the highest contract on the roster to barely ever show up and he's your world champion? That doesn't even make sense, even for a heel. So at that point, I feel like the best Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar without a title or without going for a title. When Brock Lesnar doesn't involve a title, I'll buy it.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre is doing awesome as champion right now.
Oh, dude, I wish COVID hadn't happened because that reaction for McIntyre winning would have been great.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I think the thing with Brock is, like, it's also, like, a WWE problem in a way, is because when Brock's not there, like, the other titles aren't, like, holding that place for him. Because, like, I'm thinking of the Intercontinental title, and, like, back when Brock was Universal Champ, Intercontinental was on Raw. And, like, it didn't really live up to where it could have been. If the feuds under it were as good enough to, like, kind of, like, push aside the Lesnar stuff, then it would be a little different.
That's what I wish they would do with both the Intercontinental and U.S. titles, bring like more prestige to them and more attention around them.
I wish they would just redesign the U.S. already.
Yeah. I have a question
that
for each
I don't
of you.
really care about because that's not. I mean, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, I'm more thinking of just the value of the titles, and it just like the value from the world to the Intercontinental used to be a lot like less of a margin than it is now, and now it's like. Now it's like those titles mean fucking almost nothing.
Miz always does a good job.
They just mean that you're better than a couple other people. That's what I hate about the titles now. They mean I'm better than like 5 or 10 people. I want that to mean you're better than the bottom 20 of the roster.
So
out of 40 or whatever.
I have a question for each of you.
Yes.
Can you name the last 4 Intercontinental champions?
I can't.
Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman,
Shinsuke Nakamura,
and
who the fuck did Shinsuke beat? That was so long ago.
Yeah, that was long ago.
Oh my god, Shinsuke had it for a while.
You should have prepared me with this question before we started.
No, because I wanted to. I didn't think about this before.
He beat somebody like 10 billion years ago.
Oh,
yeah, like a year
hold
ago.
on. Shinsuke.
Could it have been? No.
Do you know the answer?
No, I'm trying to legitimately see if we can figure it out.
So that's not asking a question for one of us to answer in
No.
the contest. This is just
trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Like that's how to illustrate the point of how badly those are booked.
Was it Balor?
No.
I'm gonna look it up.
Not Balor.
It might have been.
No.
Was it Lashley?
No.
Who the fuck?
It might have been Bobby Lashley.
It might have been Bobby Lashley.
It might have been
I
Bobby
feel like
Lashley.
that. I feel like
Shinsuke
that's
Nakamura and Bobby Lashley?
Wait.
Who is it? You'll be able to find it.
It might be Balor.
If you look
honestly.
up Intercontinental on Wikipedia, it'll tell you.
Well, it sure as fuck wasn't Zack Ryder.
No,
that's the U.S. title. I was thinking Jeff Hardy, but that was the U.S. title.
Okay, I gotta see
what
this.
we got.
Did Ryder get released or just Hawkins?
Yeah, right, both of them. That's Pat Patterson. Shinsuke did not beat Pat Patterson. Pat Patterson didn't win it in a real
Imagine
match.
Pat Patterson versus Shinsuke
Sami
Nakamura.
Zayn, Braun Strowman, Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor.
Yes! Oh,
Really?
shit! Right, it was
At
Balor.
WrestleMania.
Wait, he beat Balor at Mania?
Really?
Yeah, WrestleMania 35. I do not remember that.
Oh, no, that's what it is. It was a Fatal 4-Way, I think. And that's the previous champion. If you're looking at it like that, wasn't it a Fatal 4-Way where Balor was in there?
Oh, shit.
Shinsuke and all that? Or was that not what it was?
I don't know.
Jeez, find that out. Okay.
Balor beat Lashley before that.
I knew that.
because
Okay.
they traded it a couple times. I remember that.
And then Shinsuke won.
Damn.
But what kind of match was it? Like, can you figure it out? Or here, let me see. I'll be able to figure this out.
Oh, but my Brock Lesnar opinion. I think the best Brock is when he works with smaller guys.
Mm-hmm.
All of the matches he has with smaller guys are the best.
Yeah.
CM Punk, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Finn Balor. I think they're awesome.
Yeah, because honestly, like, the only Brock match I can think of that I enjoyed that was with the big guys was that SummerSlam Fatal 4-Way that I fucking love.
Well, that was because it was like peak Braun Strowman.
It
that
was
was like a different era. Like peak Braun Strowman was awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Peak Braun Strowman beat the shit out of him.
But like, I don't think big guys are built to be like lasting more than 5 or 6 or 7 years. Like, past their initial like hype period, usually they never recover unless they're like Undertaker.
So it was. This is what it was. This is what it was for Shinsuke. He defeated Balor at Extreme Rules kickoff show.
Okay, well,
well, there goes my point. Kickoff show Intercontinental title used to be the second world title.
There's my fucking point too. Jesus, like they treat these titles like they don't matter. Like that should be the second to last thing that your brand produces. Like if they're co-brand pay-per-views like that, one of the last 2 matches that you feature should be, or last 3, let's say. Because let's say you've got a big built match in between those, or whatever, for how you release them through the pay-per-view. That should be second or third to last.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be on the pre-show. Or maybe it kicks off the show with a banger. If it's a match that you know you've produced as a banger, then put it on as the first match. A kickoff match, or or one of the last ones your brain produces. That's what I say.
They treat the Intercontinental like we treated the Grand. That's bad.
Yeah, we did treat the Grand title pretty bad. What put us
the world heavyweight title?
It was literally the big gold belt. We kind of had to.
Not only that, but I think it just I don't know. We didn't. I think we knew we were going to get rid of it at some time, or at least
we always get rid of this third title. We won't get rid of the internet. I refuse.
No, never.
I like internet.
Internet is staying.
It's too pretty.
Yeah.
I love our TV title.
Yeah, the TV title is beautiful. Speaking of beautiful titles, there's a new Patreon tier. If any of you want to pay $350, you can get your own custom MEBW World or any championship.
So you get the world, custom side plates with your world title, All-American title, internet title, or tag titles. You can buy any of those titles, and you can get custom side plates for them. So
there's that.
Just send us your design for those side plates, and link in description. Thank you, editor.
God, that'd be funny if someone did that. I'm curious what they would get.
Oh, you know what'd be fun? When we talk comments or opinions.
I'm down with talking comments or opinions.
Yeah.
Some of our favorite commenters.
So I'll bring up a YouTube video right now.
Well, you know what we're going to do first? We're going to talk about the man, Biggle. Because that is our favorite fan. That is our favorite fan. Okay, well, maybe not everyone's favorite fan. If like somebody else has one, and maybe not to put it like that, because that's like kind of unfair. But I think Biggle knows he's a favorite. Apache King's a favorite. Brendan K and Kyle T. Even though I've had my differences with them, they're favorites, of course.
Crazy L, John Morgan.
Crazy L, John Morgan. You guys are
Apache
awesome.
King, I think you said that.
Brandon Smith.
Brandon Smith.
Yeah, Brandon Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, all those guys.
Aiden Wrestling.
Aiden Wrestling. Yeah, we love you. And then
Judas in my mind.
So yeah, those are like our main fans that we've kept over a long time. Oh, Mark Bull or whatever. Yep. And then who's the other guy?
Sydney Stockholm.
Ken Havoc. Yeah.
Ken Havoc.
Fuck off. He's banned.
Here, we'll look at the other video too.
Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of.
I would unban Kent Havoc.
Mike Lopez.
Mike Lopez.
Yeah.
Mike Lopez isn't around anymore, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see him.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I kind of miss him in our
while.
comments, because he comments on our Mania shit still, though. Like, he gets his comment in there pretty late, but he watches it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So maybe he's just got other shit going on. But
I couldn't...
Not discounting any other fans, but I can't pick just one person. They're all my favorites.
Yeah.
But one in particular, John Morgan, man.
Yeah.
Him and his additional scripts for every single episode that we put out are just beautiful, and I love him.
Oh,
I look forward to every single.
It's like a second description.
Well, you're a nice guy, Delta. If you're not Biggle, I probably hate you. So, but I know I recognize Biggle is a heel. But I do recognize you, and secretly maybe I do like you a little bit. But I also hate you. So that's the case with everybody, though. So that's just Tyler Adams.
I mean, I have to have my heel faction because I can't pick just one.
Oh yeah, the resistance.
I gotta have my resistance. I gotta have my down with Viper Mania. I got Crazy L. I got Apache King. I got Biggle, and I got John Morgan.
You got a lot more people in there.
You stole Biggle from you on there?
Listen,
all right,
listen. I'm his clone.
I'm gonna ask the question right now, Tyler Adams. How do you feel about this resistance stuff?
Ooh,
the burning question.
Oh man, I'm glad I'm across the table.
Why is that the burning question for me?
I don't know. The regime hasn't responded. I'm just kind of curious.
I'm just curious with how much Star Wars shit we can steal.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I know that there are people who are happy about it and people who are not. There are people who carry a knife in their tights, and there are people who don't.
What about Tommy Gunn?
He doesn't wear tights.
There are people who
carry donuts in his pocket.
There are people who
carry donuts.
There are people who will pounce you to the other side of the yard.
Yeah.
You know, Matt Thunder, you know this well. There are other people in the regime who might steal your clothesline onto the trampoline and do it twice.
Oh yeah, like Owen O'Ryan.
Yeah, my buddy. And then
fucking O-Rat.
That's the regime for you. So I think you'll get a response from us sometime. But we haven't been able to get because of this whole virus and everything. We haven't been able to get ourselves together and really talk about that.
Yeah.
But
Joe Erbis has a man bun.
He does have a man bun.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I still can't wait to
really
beat the absolute piss out of him.
Yeah, you still owe him a receipt.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna say that as mad as I am about the attack on Joe Erbis and I at Revolution,
you got the bid in.
I'm more mad about what you did to fucking Owen O'Ryan. He's a dick now. He's a good kid. You fucked him up.
You know,
he was once Owen Young.
He was once Owen Young.
So you people understand us as the regime and everything. I kind of took Owen under my wing. Tommy Gunn respected that, wanted to bring him in. Thunder, you were in there for a while, but
a little bit,
you know,
a little bit.
Some people got to go. So,
trim the fat.
But no, I've turned him into kind of a little mini me. I like it, and I say that, but he's only a couple. He's only a couple inches. He's only a couple inches shorter than me, but he's still my little prodigy right now. So yeah. You almost said what? What do you want to say on air?
No, I can't. No, there's something. I thought of a response, but I can't say it.
Anyway, yeah, Owen is me. So if you see any bastard qualities, just know he got it from yours truly.
Fucking goblin.
Bastard qualities.
Yeah, because I come out there and I act like an asshole bastard. And
yeah, I will agree.
A fucking goblin, damn it.
None of you motherfuckers lately have been able to stop me from being a bastard. I'm still a bastard no matter what. You might beat me in a match, you might take my world title,
break up the pin.
But
yeah, buddy.
But you know what? I'm still a bastard no matter what. So
you know what? You're a fucking goblin too. You bit me. You fucking bit me.
Hey, that shit happens. Tyler, you know what's funny? That actually makes me want to get this in on the podcast. Then, I've watched a couple of matches of mine back where I bit people, and I'm like, yeah I do that.
Fucking goblin.
For real. Like, I will bite you. I will beat the fuck out of you. I don't care. I'll stab you. Whatever. It
wasn't even in a match.
It's a yeah. I know.
Play light tube clip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no!
Please don't. I'm not sending that to you. Wait, you probably have it.
I probably have it somewhere.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. No, thank you.
Well, we just spoiled who our editor is.
Oh, it's
okay.
Fine.
That's fine. I think people are.
We've done it on everything.
Yeah.
Max did it first, though. Fucker.
Plus, I feel like even when we don't do this live, we kind of hint to Zach so hard as the editor.
Yeah.
At least I said his shoot name, so that's actually a little bit...
Yeah,
who's Zach?
Yeah, who's Zach?
Who the fuck is that?
That's our editor that we have.
Yeah. Our editor.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
that
our editor. Yeah.
I don't talk to that guy a lot.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
He just asks me for like clips and videos.
Yeah,
he'll send me cutouts sometimes or something like that I can post on my walls, and I appreciate that. Like socials. I can post it on my socials, on my cover photo and everything like that. I can do all that. Yeah. So I like him for that. He's a cool guy, but sometimes I want to beat his ass when he censors out my shit though. If I say something too extreme and he censors it out, like sometimes I really want to.
Sometimes he deletes a comment or two.
Oh yeah.
And I put out some comments out there that I thought were pretty well thought out, and he deleted them, and I kind of had a problem with them.
They were like John Morgan-esque.
I almost came out and beat his ass that week. But he wasn't out. He wasn't out here for the actual taping of the video, so I just ended up beating up Los Diego instead.
Yeah, that's how it
Oh, yeah.
I do feel bad.
Dude, Diego is still in the bars. We talked about this.
Yeah.
He's over there. He's sitting on the
No. He's in the bar. He's in the bar, man. Diego.
I think you're thinking of Ref Face. I think Ref Face.
Yeah, you're thinking of Ref Face.
Ref Face made it back home.
I don't know. They're both the same size, so I kind of like confused which one of them's which. From
They're
the back,
both
and I'm seeing their mask and everything.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
Los Diego was in the bar when they closed down.
Yep,
and we haven't seen him since.
Wait, so I have a question.
We've seen Chatterino though. We gotta contact Chatterino. Sorry to cut you off, Delta, but we gotta contact Chatterino. Because he's the cousin of Los Diego. Like, he's got to know something.
He hangs out in the garage.
Sorry, Delta. Go ahead. Delta, go ahead with what you're saying.
No, is Ref Face, like, related to Gingy at all? Because, like...
Okay. Hold on. Okay, MEBW conspiracy time. See, like, this shit is all a mystery to us. We get here, and they got the fucking masks. We don't know what's going on. I have never seen what the fuck Gingy looks like.
They never remove their masks.
Yeah, they're true luchadors.
True luchadors, yeah.
This isn't like a kayfabe talk either. They always have their mask on.
Yeah, like, I don't know who the fuck, but I don't know, man, because, like, maybe...
Send Tommy the link. He's going to do the ad read himself.
Oh, shit, can I invite someone? I think
you can, right?
I don't know if I can do it while we're mid-recording.
We can end it, too. I can just cut it out.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay, we're going to end it. So we're back here. We have a special guest for a brief moment.
On the Jersey Boys podcast here.
It is one Gunn.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, sir.
I'm coming to you with this week's ad. All right. So a lot of you wonderful viewers and listeners out in the world of MEBW bought those Johnson & Johnson ass wipes we advertised a couple weeks ago, and now we're going to bring you another partner. We're very excited to sponsor them. Coming soon to stores near you, the best-selling story of a young man with a dream, a fighter with a bright future called by a different profession. Common Sense Media says it's thoroughly entertaining. Plugged in wonders, who'd have thought? In these trying times, this piece of art breaks down barriers. With a whole 63% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb, this show is the quintessential change of heart story. From boxing to the rest of his life and the girl of his dreams, Corbin Blue stars in Jump In. No! Did you know Jump In is Jack Delta's favorite movie?
I've never watched it.
He loves this movie so much, he will be watching it live this Tuesday on our channel. Yup, that's right. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Less than 24 hours from now, Jack Delta will have to put down his soda and put Aquila and the Bee on the shelf because he will willingly watch Jump In live at 1 p.m. But it's okay. If you missed that stream, then he'll do it again at 4 p.m. and again at 8 p.m. Don't miss next week when we don't even have the Jersey Boys podcast and we just have a 24-hour live stream of Jack Delta watching Jump In. And don't forget, next Friday, we are all in this together as Jack Delta watches all of Corbin Blue's greatest High School Musical moments to celebrate second Passover. Say shalom with the Jack Delta Live, the best of Corbin Blue. And make sure you run out and buy this incredible DVD from the directors of Camp Rock 2, and the Cheetah Girls, One World, comes Jack Delta's life obsession, Jump In store. Time, guys. Now back to the show.
Okay, I'm still kind of crying a little bit. That hurt.
Oh
that was pretty...
I just don't even know what to say.
He just texted me.
What did he say?
And
that's great.
I'm just gonna say the regime is gonna die.
I don't know about
Is
that.
Jack Delta joining the resistance?
Do it. Do it.
What's happening with that, Jack Delta?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can't really make an answer right now, I feel like.
I'm right next to you, by the way.
Well, you're not going to join fucking Tommy Gunn after what he said. Jesus.
Man, I'm in between my two biggest rivals right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're outnumbered, bitch boy.
Yeah, you are outnumbered.
I don't care. I would fight all three of you right now. Yeah, I'm outnumbered by 3.
Well,
what is he going to do, though?
I don't know.
What are you going to do, Delta?
What are you talking?
What am I going to do?
I mean...
You guys are There's objects in here. I can hit with weapons.
Yeah, there are objects in here.
Who knows?
Yeah, apparently nothing's off limits. Rakes.
The Resistance and Regime might have to team up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me and Delta might go off on you.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna go Rogue 2 Wolfpack on you.
I don't know if I can team with somebody who's been talking so much shit lately. So
Cody Powers.
This is getting pretty heated. Back to the program, and
I'm just gonna put this bat down.
Oh, that's my Mania 2 entrance bat.
Was that Mania 3?
Yeah.
What if I just rocked your shit with a punch and then just took that bat and beat the fuck out of you with it?
Jesus.
Oh my god.
I'd shove it up your ass.
That's your Saturday nights, not mine.
Woo!
So, anyway, back to the program. Do you have any other questions for us that were interesting questions you wanted to ask us? Because I know you have.
Oh, definitely. What is each of your fondest MEBW backstage memories?
There is a lot of memories.
Because we have
Me and Chris Storm watching stuff on his phone.
Oh,
no.
Yep.
That's a funny one.
I got in there too. I know. Why the fuck not?
I don't describe it as that.
Tommy Gunn didn't like it though.
Can't really.
I don't know why. It was learning wrestling, and it was just
Yeah, sometimes you gotta learn how to do it. The West Texas Pump Jack.
Or a nice head scissors.
Or a 69 driver. That's a local indie reference.
You could have at least said Tombstone, you dumb motherfucker.
No, I gotta go with the local guys, damn it.
Oh, God.
He wants to get freaky, remember?
Oh, yeah, he does want to get
Sweet Willie.
Oh, Sweet Willie. That sounds gross.
That sounds so gross if you don't know who Michigan indie wrestlers are.
Yeah, nobody will get that.
Yeah, it doesn't help that if we
If
were
you
to
live
put a
in
picture in, he would look like your pervy uncle.
If you live in Michigan and you've ever,
if you live
in Michigan and you've ever been to XICW, Pure Pro, or any companies like Blue Water, then you might understand what we're talking about here. For the rest of the world who doesn't live in Michigan, you have no idea what the fuck you just heard. Well, no, he probably makes his way around the country a little bit.
I can describe him.
By that you mean Ohio.
Like if Goldust had the
Probably
long
goes to
hair but without the makeup, and he was just kind of like, I don't want to say like bigger. He was like Black Rain. If anyone remembers Black Rain from TNA,
It's funny.
It was
It's
Goldust's old
funny
gimmick in
to say
TNA.
something like that, but he's pale white.
He's very white, and he wears a thong.
Yeah, he's got a gimmick of who's someone else in wrestling, like a Joey Ryan gimmick, sort of.
Like a Lost Diego.
No, it's not a Lost Diego. It is more of a Joey Ryan to me when he was like a baby face.
Like a Goldust Adrian Adonis, fucking like early Goldust, like Scott Hall feud
Goldust, Joey Ryan.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but he's white and he's got a kind of blonde pedo stash, right?
Yeah.
So, but I say that with like the sweetest intentions towards him because he's a nice guy and I've talked to him outside of the gimmick and he's great.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean that's that. We were getting back to our controversial moments here. So or not controversial. I'm sorry.
Fondest backstage
memories. When you say fond, can they be? That's so. If you ask me my most interesting, there's different ones because if you ask me my fondest, I kind of attribute that to like happy memories, but I can think of when people got their face busted open, shit like that. So
yeah, I can think of a couple.
Favorite memory though.
Favorite.
Oh God.
Oh, one that I can't talk about in the pool.
Oh, yep. I was thinking about that one earlier.
There was participated upon by multiples
Yes.
of people.
Kind of like Jay Creed.
Yeah, kind of like Jay Creed.
Kind of like Jay Creed, yeah, what we explained about him. Richard Christian was not happy.
No.
He kept saying, stop doing that
Why
shit.
was Richard Christian there?
He just kind of shows up sometimes and it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, he's
like Hunter
in
Jones
the office. He's in the office at weird times. I guess that's what time you got to talk to OJ, though, so I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, man. If New Jack ever did anything right, it was when he said OJ did good job.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I just think
Cody Powers letting out the No More White Woman 2020 on the podcast.
That's my favorite meme to post because it's just like it's like one of those things where it's so like
Cody
dramatic.
Powers says, one less Karen.
One less Karen.
Do you see that thing up there?
Anyone?
How is that broke?
Hold on.
What the fucking the The laundry thing?
Yeah, how is that broke?
We broke it in a fucking match.
Yeah, it was the Patreon match.
Yeah, we broke it in the Patreon match.
Play the clip, man.
Okay, so
we broke a lot of shit in the Patreon match.
Oh! That was nasty. Raylo just got his ass kicked. Look at Jack Delta. Oh my God, Jack Delta! Why would you do that to your body?
now that the clip has been played, what were we just talking about?
Oh, the Karen's thing?
Karen?
The white women?
Oh yeah, Karen. Yes. So to all you people out there on social media who are saying that saying the word Karen is worse than saying the N-word, I have a special word for you. You're a fucking idiot. And my second message to you, you're going to love this. Karen, 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 Karen. If you act like a Karen, you're a Karen. I'm not racist. I'm not sexist. You're a Karen. Anyway.
No, John Mulaney had a bit where he was like, if you're comparing the severity of a word and one of them you can't say, it's probably the one you can't say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go out and say Karen, and people aren't going to turn and look at you like you just murdered a puppy.
Yeah.
But if you say the other one...
Well, then you're Jim Cornette.
Yes! I love that. So much.
No, but yeah, so I have this meme. I'll probably send it if to put in the video, I guess. Anytime I see some like dumb shit that like an old white woman says, it's "No more white woman 2020." And it's a fucking statement to live by. No more white women 2020.
All right.
Okay.
Notice how he didn't say white men.
Yeah.
Because that's okay for him. So.
God, the internet's fucked up, bro.
It really is. I love how... That's one of my other favorite things, and I don't care if I get hated for saying this is one of my favorite things, that no matter how terrible something is, even if it's the coronavirus, the internet will turn it into a meme, and they don't give a shit, and
Dude.
I love it.
I've seen Kobe
Because
memes.
that is the... Yeah, Kobe memes kind of bothered me, and only for one reason. I saw one, like, 12 hours after he died, and I was like, okay, that hurt. And so now when I reflect back on that, if that never happened, now they might be, like, coming into acceptability, but that still happened really recently.
No, that's how I found out he died.
Yeah.
It was a meme.
I didn't. I found out on my phone. I got a TMZ alert from YouTube of them releasing it, and they're the ones who released it before anyone else. So I got it right when it happened.
Joe Erebus mentioned it on the product.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God.
And that was bad.
We apologize.
This
for
is
that,
why
by the way.
you're his manager.
Yeah, that's why I'm his manager.
This is also why he's getting a
Receipt?
yeah. Well, he's gonna get a couple receipts now.
Uh-oh. Handful of receipts. It's like a fucking CVS receipt.
It really is. It really is. So,
Damn.
Chad, I will see you out there.
Oh, man.
Daily.
No, don't
say that.
No, don't.
Oh,
no, I don't want to
no,
get I don't want to get a text.
You won't. We're not uploading this today.
Oh, true.
We upload one tomorrow from when we taped it. If that makes sense. So we're live, but not live.
We're live, but not live.
We're live in person, but we're not live to you guys. So we'll spoil that for you.
Yeah.
Although that's what I kind of want to do after Backyard Mania is do one live, like
on the channel.
Ooh, that'd be good. We can
That'd be
get like a Q&A.
But we have to refrain from saying things like we've said in this podcast.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Oh my God.
Let's do a
'Cause-
Q&A.
A Q&A would be cool. I've been thinking
Q&A
about
after
doing a
Mania
Q&A.
would be cool, yeah.
I was thinking, because you said some of the best memories we had, after a lot of us have like a really, really good match. Like that feeling after having a really good match.
Oh,
is
yeah,
like-
and people coming up to you and giving you a hug and telling you that you literally just went out there and stole the show. That's a feeling that I think a lot of us have felt, and it's just that's when you know.
Especially when it's like a big character change or like it's a big title win or I think some of those like after those tapings are usually when we're all in the best mood, and there's never usually anything going on because there's no abrupt end to the tapings.
Yeah, crossover tapings too.
Oh,
Yeah, crossover tapings are nice.
Yeah.
There is
I love crossovers because like just hanging out for the whole time, like that's just so much fun, and then traveling around. I've always loved traveling since I was a baby, so I mean that's just to me that's bread and butter. So.
I will say there's only one I can think of where we had that moment, and it just for me it didn't feel right, and that was the first time we filmed Thunder and Storm. for the world title.
Oh,
That we
So we're not going to tell people if we haven't told you already. I'm sure it's been mentioned on Patreon or maybe something else. But
archives,
or archives, yeah. So Chris Storm, Matt Thunder had their original match. That one was not the one you guys saw for a reason that kind of scared the shit out of a lot of us. That's wrestling for you, though. So if anyone thinks that, whether no matter how trained you are, whether you haven't been trained a day in your life, whether you're partially trained or whether you're fully trained, that shit can happen, and that just goes to show that it's not for everybody, especially when you get into a high level of it. And I don't mean to sound dicky, but like a high level of it, like we are, there's dangers, especially when you're taping as frequently as we are. And I feel like that's one of the biggest dangers for us is we have a lot of content, and so
we don't have many injuries though.
Yeah, very few.
But we do have some. Like some have happened.
Yeah.
Like
It's very minor stuff.
I can reflect because we were talking about EBW earlier, like our EBW, not Maximus Roman's EBW, but the EBW that filtered with HWW to make MEBW. Back then, I remember, and I love JT with all my heart, but I had a shoulder that was out of socket for 6 months because of a Uranagi that he performed on me, where I was trying to struggle out of the move at the same time he picked me up and slammed me, and I landed right on my right shoulder. And then, if you remember when Finn Balor and Seth Rollins faced at SummerSlam and he popped his shoulder back in, I did not tear my labrum or anything, but I did have to pop it back into socket, and you can see me do it in the match if that's still on extra. So if you go back and watch it, you can see me pop my shoulder. It's some sort of tag match. I know that probably won't help people, but I had to pop my shoulder back in, so there's real risk with that shit. So.
Yeah, the only minor injury I don't talk about is the first match that I actually had on TV. Stephen Young fucked me up.
Ooh, if we're talking about Stephen Young injuries,
my
favorite Stephen Young injury is going to be announced after whatever Jack Delta says.
No, so he went to go like snapmare me through, and he just did not give me enough room, and he basically just gave me a snapmare driver right on my shoulder, and I rolled through with it, and I fucked up my shoulder.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was the and I mean
leave those snapmare drivers to Gingy. He's pretty good with those.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is my favorite Stephen Young injury was at the Backyard Rumble.
Yep, I knew you were gonna say this. It was fucking dumb,
Backyard Rumble. He takes a German suplex. And he so hard over-rotates that he knees himself in the nose and starts gushing blood all over the place. And you can see it in part of the match, but you guys don't get a real good visual because I think whoever was eliminating him was smart enough to get him out of there pretty quick after he noticed he was bleeding.
He hit his knee on his
He kneed
nose,
himself,
right?
right on the
so
right where
Chris Storm did that before,
where you wouldn't want to where you wouldn't want it to hit.
Me and Tommy were in commentary, and like that happened, and I'm like looking at Tommy, like, did he just fucking knee himself in the face?
He must have kneed himself up some.
He did.
So he went up his nose too.
Yeah, me and Tommy were just like, "Are you kidding me? How what the fuck? He just kneed himself in the face.
Yeah,
like, are you kidding me?
He kneed himself so hard that he forgot his spots in the Rumble.
Yeah, he completely forgot his shit.
Just because this is backstage stuff, we can discuss stuff like this.
Now let me relieve Stephen Young of that for a second with one thing before you say that. I also will admit something. In one of my finest, cleanest matches that I've ever had in my entire life, I also kneed myself in the face. So I can't really talk too much shit about Stephen Young. I didn't make myself bleed, but I did, it felt like for a half second I knocked myself out, but I realized what happened after the impact. One of my best matches, I've been complimented by people who I totally take so much pride in them commenting and telling me how good of a match it was me and you, Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
When I hit you with the small package driver, my leg was out of place when I jumped, and I kneed myself in the face pretty hard.
I remember that.
And I also pulled your knee down into my head because of the placement. And I've done small package drivers more than 30 times now, right? Whether it's practicing it or actually hitting it live action in a match. And I just, for whatever reason, rotated my momentum too hard because I think I wanted a high impact slam, and I also wanted to get you up high enough to land you correctly, you know what I mean?
It
and
did
not land you
good,
on the
though.
top of your head. And it looked very clean, but you don't notice it unless you look at my facial expression. I kneed myself in the face. So
yeah, I think that bump hurt too.
That bump did hurt a little bit, and I remember other people who were planning what they were going to do before they went out. They were watching, and they saw that, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to do that in our match."
Yeah,
and that person was on the podcast. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Delta, with what you were going to say, because I know you're going to say something. I apologize for taking that steam off you, because you're going to say something. So I hope you remember.
You're okay. Badams was going to beat you up, but that's we got to keep this going. No, so for the few people that care about this, here's an original plan that almost happened that we're probably never ever going to discuss again, just because it's not really high up there.
Yeah.
But original plans for Rage Cage, Alex Cage. As you know, he debuted in the Rumble. And he didn't appear after that. He just showed up the one time, and then he disappeared. What ended up happening was he went off and he got trained at a different place.
I have some words on that in a second, but I'll let you go.
Yeah. But his original plans was he was going to team with Stephen Young, and we were probably going to have I'm going to say it now, probably the most train wreck match we've almost ever booked, was Stephen Young and Alex the Rage Cage versus Cody Powers and Austin Apex versus, I think there was one other team.
Raylo and Gingy, I think.
No, couldn't have been.
No? No? Who was it?
It was some variation on the Lost, because that was going to be a catalyst for the Lost.
I think it was Erebus and Raylo.
It was Erebus and Raylo, I think. Yeah, because originally Gingy wasn't he gonna turn on? No, he still turned on James, but he wasn't gonna join the Lost originally.
Yeah, he was gonna be at Mania.
Yeah, he was gonna be at Mania and just turn on James, and the Lost would have been the day he would have joined the day after or whatever. But no, we decided to lump it all together. So there's this big other storyline with Apex that should I get into, or
should you?
Do you think
save it for archives?
Do you think
if you're gonna do it, save it for archives?
Okay, I'll save it for archives. So pay attention to archives. I'll try to put it in maybe next time we talk about tag titles or something.
So a word on the Rage Cage.
Oh yes,
this is my. I've been saving this one for a while, so just know that this has been brewing up in me for a minute.
You mean you actually had that training tag match with them?
Yeah, we did have a training match with them. That was pretty good.
On Patreon.
Yeah. So, I don't know if fans of ours know if they don't backyard wrestle themselves, which some of them do, some of them don't.
Most of them do.
Most of them do, but some don't. I don't know if they understand how backyard wrestling is looked upon by professional wrestling.
It's not.
I would hope you would understand that it's looked at even more severely than what WWE says. They just say, please don't try this at home. But your local indies will take it a step further, and they really do not like backyard wrestling. So when you rotate from backyard to pro, and you can ask people this, it's just something that you don't carry around with you like that. And so with how backyard wrestling is looked down upon by them, I'm telling you right now that where the Rage Cage is right now is looked at as even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're trying to pass off a company that trains somebody for way less than the curriculum requires, and then you're letting them win their first pro match. That is stupid. And if any of you hear that and are offended by it, good. Come talk to me about it, and I'll tell you the same thing to your face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Outlaw Mud Show shit is just annoying.
I mean, if you do one and you don't record it, then that's on you. Well, or if you record it for your own private investment, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you are going out there and pushing that as pro and getting a tacky bar to not ask you if you really have a license for this, that is terrible. Yeah. Yeah. And you're charging people almost nothing. And don't really I'll tell you what they're charging them. What did they charge one of our guys that went there that we're not going to talk about that he went there? But what did they charge him? $100 or $200?
Like $200, I think.
$200. Do you know how much it is to get into a real pro wrestling school? $2,000.
Yep.
This means that anyone who wasn't motivated enough, they never had to sit there and save up the cash for pro wrestling school. They never had to do any of that. They had to go to work. They could work at a place like Pizza Hut and get it in a week's paycheck. And they go there, and a week later, they're already having their first pro match. Yeah. And you're going to tell me that this guy is licensed? No, he's licensed almost as...
Yeah.
Don't forget also, we all got invites. I don't know about you guys, but in my Instagram DMs, I got an invite to go train there.
See, I'm private on Instagram for that reason only, but when I
got an invite.
I'm thinking of making a Tyler Adams Instagram, but I've just, I've stuck to mine, and I don't accept message requests from people like that. They followed me, and that's fine.
Tyler Adams
they
make
followed
a fucking Instagram.
I don't think make a fan Instagram.
I don't think it'd work out well because you wouldn't agree with a lot of people.
Yeah, it'd be brutal.
It'd be great content.
I'll make it into the next. Brutal,
it would be great.
I'll make it into the next brutal platform behind Twitter because Twitter's great. But
I don't want a fan Instagram because I just don't want to like. It's bad enough when like fans that I don't want to message me on Instagram. Like Crazy L will message me. I'm perfectly fine with him messaging me because he always has something really cool to talk about. But like if some random fan is just like, hi, how are you? It's like, please leave me alone. I'm not here for this.
Right, like have something to talk about. You
Yeah.
know? And like something that's gonna want to take us away from time because we do spend so much of our time with this that it eats it up sometimes, and I guess that's good practice for anyone who's thinking of moving on to become a professional wrestler. That's good practice to always being involved in a company, knowing that and having some kind of experience, even if it's not that experience, is you can make that beneficial to yourself.
And that's why you see so many like, especially in their prime, yarding companies will randomly just stop, like mid tracks. Like they're awesome. They've got a bunch of things going for them. They're different. They're cool, and then they just stop. It's because they're going pro.
Yep. That's like TBW. They all went pro.
And even if people who are long-time backyard wrestling fans, that happen with people like Matt DeMorris, that happen with people like obviously Cam and all them. So I mean that's
it's inevitable.
Yeah, it's kind of just how it goes.
If you're at the top, especially if you're one of the people at the top of their game too, and you're really, really doing something with it, you will probably end up going somewhere.
Yeah.
And that just it's almost a guarantee. And that's what I like about backyard wrestling is you can get experience. Okay, you can tell me that you can't be fully trained and still be safe enough to wrestle in a backyard, and I'll understand your point on that. But what I can tell you that you can get real practice with in backyard wrestling, building a character, cutting a promo. Those things you can get well. And you still can get partially trained and then still backyard wrestle if you don't take it to the extent that you're in your pro training to become a pro soon. You know, it's those little steps that you take. And that's what I like about backyard wrestling compared to the thing I was just shooting upon 5 minutes ago. We're not passing ourselves off as something that we're not.
Yeah, we're
not taking people's money to train with us. If we invite you to wrestle with us, we think that you are that damn good. Or if we get invited, you think we are that damn good. And we can train with each other, and we don't charge each other a damn penny. But when you're charging for something that you don't really have the extent of knowledge that you're putting out there that you do, that's where it becomes wrong.
Yeah, and when you're finished your world title match, it's a fucking hit with a trash can lid. Like, yeah, there's some issues there.
I mean,
not even just on a training level. That's a booking issue.
Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? I'll tell you what that is.
Ass.
Well, it is ass, but listen to what that is. That is them trying to create a poster for their next event. Because if you got a guy smashing a trash can over his head, you can create a poster for the next event. Other than that, making it the finish is just dumb. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was.
It's one of those things where it's smart because they're selling the next event, but it's also dumb because that's your final world title match and you're putting that as the finish. That's just it's lame.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
you also need to recognize where you are because we've gotten opportunity. Like I don't know about you guys, but like I've gotten opportunities to like go wrestle at pro places too. But like I don't take them because I'm not trained.
Yeah,
and a lot of people need to do that.
That's one of the most important things to remember if you're backyard wrestling.
Because we're not pros. We're
not pros. This is
LARPing.
We know things. So we're not pros, but we do have a small amount of knowledge that we can use to keep ourselves safe. And that's what we have. And it's a small amount of knowledge compared to what you get in a real course. So I'm kind of putting. So any indie company who hates yarders, don't hate me because I'm putting over people going to wrestling school and getting properly trained. Yeah. So you better love me for that.
I will say the one thing about MEBW that people also like I don't see in other backyard wrestling companies is we're ran like an actual wrestling company. Like in some respects, we don't pretend like we are an actual wrestling company, but a lot of our how we feel about titles and how we do business is very close to
how we book and everything.
And
like
how
that.
we book is very close to like
and just how we do things like this. Like this is this all filters into what we are, and that's something that even if you don't like it, I think you respect it if you realize that our viewpoints are that one day if you're gonna my viewpoint and a lot of other people's viewpoints in larger indie companies, if you yard, you better yard with the intention of going pro.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense, because if you're going to go pro, you're showing that one day you're going to get training to do this right, but right now you're just too young, or you're just too busy, or you don't have enough money, but you still love wrestling so much that you need your way to put that on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so, like, if you respect it in that way, I at least will respect your opinion more on backyard wrestling, but that's one of the most important things. Yard with the intention of going pro.
Yeah.
Because if you're not yarding with it, because and also you take away from pro wrestling and you make people watch backyard wrestling, and for them that's an insult, because they feel like you're stealing potential fans we could have just to watch your backyard shit when you guys haven't even been through what we've been through, road trips and training for 8 months and going home and you know, feeling like shit. You guys haven't felt that yet. You guys haven't, you know, learned how to get a baby face over in a match or anything like that. Those important points that they will hit in wrestling school. The thing about that is, though, if you promote the eventual idea of going to wrestling school, I think that's more respected in a way, because you're promoting that one day you're going to stop yarding. You're going to realize that legitimizing yourself with pro wrestling is the best route you can take at some point in your life. Mm-hmm. If your avenue to like have wrestling escape you in the way that you want to put it out there, if your avenue has to be backyard wrestling, it has to be backyard wrestling. But after that, do it with the intention that you're going to move on. Mm-hmm. Don't trick them out and then just say, yeah, I stole your potential fans for no reason. Go train. Go get trained when you can.
Yeah, that's why I take like certain comments so seriously. Is like when people will say, "Oh, we're better than MEBW. We're the best company." I see those comparisons and I'm like how seriously we're ran and how seriously we take everything. I can't accept a comparison to just people having fun. Like, having fun is great, and there's nothing wrong with having fun.
Yeah, we do have a lot of fun.
We have a lot of fun.
Right. But that's why we do it. We don't make money.
Yeah, we don't make money. No. Like we get.
This is how we put our love of pro wrestling out there in a way that, you know, brings us to a certain calmness.
The way we can.
The way we It's just. And so like, and it really is the way we live. Like outside of this, I have a job, but guess what? Besides my job, this is pretty much my life.
Yep.
And wrestling has been my life since I've been 5 years old, and it's going to continue to be my life until I die. And that mindset puts me into one day going professional and being a professional wrestler. And that is what people should have the intention of doing. Otherwise, if you're a yarding company with not one guy, even your top guy, who wants to go pro, I don't know how seriously you take this. And that's not an insult, because maybe some of you do, and you just have another reason for not going pro. Like, you have some other ambitions in your life, but maybe you still do take wrestling seriously to an extent. But I can't believe that off the bat if you don't have the intention of going pro.
Mm-hmm. And understand, too, that not anytime soon, I especially don't think for any of us, when we retire from MEBW eventually, if that ever happens, or when it happens, to be honest, when we retire and we go indie, that's it. Like, there's no coming back. We're done.
Yeah, and like, that's it. So when you see someone's last match, that's, from now on, think of that as probably their last match. You know, I know we've had people say that their last match is their last match, but I mean, you know, there's a couple of them that are right and there are a couple of them that are wrong. And just know that as we keep going further,
right, people
that these become more serious, and some of these retirements are real. And that's it.
Yep. Well, I think those are some good words to end on, honestly. I mean, talking about the endings of careers.
Appreciate what you have.
Yeah, appreciate what you have.
And just have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Make it fun.
It won't last forever. Make it fun.
Yeah. Well, that's been this episode of the Jersey Boys podcast experience. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. We said some things. Some things that definitely... A lot of things. We had Tommy Gunn on.
I'm going to kill the regime.
Yeah, Delta's going to kill the regime.
Not if I kill you first.
Tyler Adams is going to stab somebody.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we better. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's...